Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. I am thrilled you're here today because we are stepping right into the high-stakes world of English literature exams. If you're gearing up for the UGC NET, KSET, SET, Assistant Professor, PSC, or your MA English exams, consider me your personal mentor for the next few minutes. Today, we're going to master 10 incredibly high-yield multiple-choice questions, specifically questions 61 through 70 from our curated exam mastery series. I'm going to break down the correct answers, explain the crucial literary background, and most importantly, give you the memory tricks you need to lock these facts into your brain for exam day.
Okay, let's dive into this. We've got two main acts today, classics to villains, and then the modern mind. Wrapping up with a quick final recap.
Act 1, classics to villains. We're talking Renaissance drama and some truly iconic schemers. All right, let's kick things off with a little dramatic flair. Listen to this. If it be aught toward the general good, set honor in one eye and deaf in the other, and I will look on both indifferently. So who says that, and to whom? Is it Octavius to Antony, Hamlet to Claudius, Brutus to Cassius, or Casca to Calpurnia? Think about the vibe here. It's all about patriotism, honor, and honestly, a total indifference to dying.
If you went with C, you nailed it. It's Brutus talking to Cassius in Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. He's basically saying Rome matters way more than his own life. We can instantly toss out Hamlet and Casca as total red herrings here. I mean, Hamlet definitely doesn't say this, and Casca just isn't wired for that kind of noble sacrifice. For your exams, remember that this perfectly captures Brutus's Stoic philosophy. And here's your cheat code for test day. Whenever you see the phrase general good in a quote from antiquity, link it straight to Brutus. Just remember, general good equals Brutus.
Now, what's really interesting about this next one is how a simple physical description just creates an atmosphere of pure dread. Who's being described here? You should be women, and yet your beards forbid me to interpret that you are so. Are we looking at the plebeians in Coriolanus, the sisters in King Lear, the witches in Macbeth, or the players in Hamlet?
It's C, the three witches in Macbeth. Banquo drops this incredibly vivid line when he and Macbeth first stumble across them on the heath. Why does Shakespeare throw in that specific detail about the beards? Because that gender ambiguity totally amps up the supernatural, unnatural dread of the scene. It's a highly tested concept because it beautifully illustrates how Shakespeare visualizes the unnatural. So let's lock it in. Memory trick. Beards equals witches. Super simple, but it's going to save you precious seconds on the exam.
Let's pivot from the stage over to the critic's desk. Literary criticism is packed with hot takes, but who famously called Romanticism a disease and Classicism health? Was it Peter, Watts Dunton, Goethe, or Victor Hugo? Take a second. Who would be so completely against the emotional excess of the Romantics? The answer is B, Theodore Watts Dunton. He genuinely believed Romanticism was all about excessive, uncontrolled emotion, literally a sickness in his eyes, while Classicism represented the health of balance, discipline, and order. We can immediately scrap Victor Hugo from this list, right? Hugo was a massive champion of Romanticism, so there's no way he's calling it a disease. For a quick recall on exam day, use this. Watts equals romantic disease. Just picture Watts Dunton trying to prescribe medicine to cure the romantics of all those feelings. Moving right along, let's delve into the dark ambitions of Christopher Marlowe's Dr. Faustus. In the play, Faustus's buddies, Valdis and Cornelius, really push him down a dark path. But which specific books does Valdis advise him to study? Is it 1, Bacon and Ovidus, 2, the Hebrew Psalter and New Testament, 3, Ovid and Homer, or 4, Baxter and Horst? So your options are I and 3, I and 3, I and 2, or I and 4. If you said D, you got it. That's options 1 and 4. Valdis is hyping up conjuring spirits, so he specifically pushes books on magic and occult philosophy associated with Bacon, Abanus, Baxter, and Horst. Watch out, because the exam is totally trying to trick you here. The Bible, the Hebrew Psalter and New Testament, and classical poetry like Ovid and Homer? Absolute traps in this context. Reading the New Testament is definitely not going to help you summon a demon. The crucial role of Valdis and Cornelius in Faustus's downfall is tested all the time. Your memory equation here is magic equals Bacon plus Abanus plus Baxter plus Horst. All right, time to leap forward to Restoration drama. Question 66 asks, Almanzor is the hero of which play? Is it the Indian Queen, the Conquest of Granada, the Wild Gallant, or All for Love? If you've been brushing up on your heroic drama, this guy's name should definitely ring a bell. So the crucial point here is that Almanzor is the absolute star of John Dryden's epic, The Conquest of Granada, which was written around 1670 to 1671. He's not in any of those other plays. Almanzor is widely seen as the ultimate, quintessential character of heroic drama. To make sure you nail this matching question every single time, just lock in this trick. Almanzor equals Granada.
Let's close out our villains section with a brutally cynical one-liner from John Webster's The White Devil. Conspiring with a beard made me a graduate. Who has that level of dark wit? Is it Bracciano, Vittoria, Flamineo, or Zanche?
The answer is C, Flamineo. That witty, dark sarcasm belongs exclusively to him. He is one of Webster's absolute best, most Machiavellian villains. By the way, if you need some solid context for your UGC NET essays or interviews, Flamineo gets compared to Shakespeare's Iago all the time because of his deep manipulation and just unapologetic cynicism. So remember this, graduate of conspiracy equals Flamineo.
Act 2, The Modern Mind, and final recap. We're stepping into the psychology of literature. Excellent work so far, guys. We're leaving those grand Elizabethan and Restoration stages behind and moving into texts built strictly for the mind. Let's start with a really foundational literary term. What exactly is a closet drama? Is it A, a drama set in a closet, B, a drama intended to be performed in a closet, C, a drama written to be read rather than performed, or D, none of these? Listen, the test makers love throwing literal physical traps at you in those first two options. Don't fall for them. The correct answer is C. A closet drama is written in dramatic form, so it literally looks like a play on the page, but it's meant primarily for reading, not to be acted out on stage. Iconic examples? Think John Milton and Percy Bysshe Shelley. It's an absolutely crucial distinction. It's literary drama, not theatrical drama. So your memory trick to dodge those literal traps is just closet equals read, not stage. Now we are shifting entirely into modernism. Which of these phrases indicates the interior flow of thought in modern British literature? Is it automatic writing, confused days, total recall, or stream of consciousness?
And this brilliantly illustrates one of the biggest shifts in literary history. The answer is D, stream of consciousness. This technique records the raw, continuous flow of a character's thoughts and feelings, pioneered by heavyweights like James Joyce and Virginia Woolf. Automatic writing? That's a distractor. That's a surrealism thing. But here's the classic exam trap. You have to know the difference between stream of consciousness and interior monologue. Stream of consciousness tries to replicate the messy, chaotic, associative way we actually think, whereas an interior monologue is usually much more structured and logical. To keep it simple in your head, mind flow equals stream of consciousness.
Moving on to question 69, we encounter a landmark play that famously shattered the wall between fiction and reality. Who wrote 6 characters in search of an author? Was it Lorca, Sartre, Camus, or Pirandello? It's D, Luigi Pirandello. Published back in 1921, this meta-theatrical masterpiece completely revolutionized modern theater. We can cross out Lorca, Sartre, and Camus right away. They're brilliant dramatists, obviously, but none of them wrote this specific, boundary-breaking piece. Pirandello is basically considered a pioneer of modernist theater because of it. Memory trick, 6 characters equals Pirandello.
All right, we've arrived at our final question, and it is a deep one. Who said, the creative writer does the same as the child at play? He creates a world of fantasy, which he takes very seriously. Was it Sigmund Freud, T.S. Eliot, S.D. Coleridge, or I.A. Richards? Think about it. Who focuses on fantasy, imagination, and deep psychological significance?
Let's put our detective hats on. The answer is A, Sigmund Freud, from his 1908 essay, Creative Writers and Daydreaming. We can instantly cross out T.S. Eliot. He was all about impersonality and tradition, definitely not childhood fantasy. Coleridge developed the theory of imagination, sure, but he didn't frame it in this psychoanalytic way. And Richards was the practical criticism guy. Freud's essay is a foundational text in psychoanalytic literary criticism, which makes this highly testable. Memo trick, child at play equals Freud. Here is your rapid-fire revision table mapping questions 61 through 70 to the correct answers. I highly encourage you to snap a screenshot of this right now to use for your last-minute review before exam day. We have covered a ton of ground in this explainer, from the political stoicism of Brutus on Shakespeare's stage to Freud's psychological take on why we even tell stories in the first place. Think about that for a second. Whether it's an Elizabethan playwright creating a Machiavellian villain or a modernist writer mapping out the chaotic stream of human consciousness, aren't they all just doing exactly what Freud suggested? Building worlds of fantasy that we take very, very seriously. Keep that in mind as you hit the books. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep that focused momentum going.